Hi, baby.
Hi.
Love you. I'm gonna have a cigarette and a beer. Damn thing. Very strange thing we're getting into. Here, watch this. Damn thing. Oh. Oh, that's a Heineken. There. Let me grab that. Oh. Take it. A piece of my heart now, baby. Just a little bit of a keg. Damn, that's a big can of beer. And that lighter looks large also. You see, it's all about how you see things. What do you make a problem in your life? What do you make seem so special? We can all see that this big ass can of Heineken is not this little bottle of beer. And that this big ass lighter isn't a little Zippo. We're changing our perception by putting something in the room, two things in the room, not just one thing that seems out of place, but two. So you start questioning your reality. And so the more people start throwing all kinds of whacked out shit at you, the less you know. Is that really that big? This is not my beautiful can of beer. This is not my huge ass lighter. How did I get here? That's my David Byrne impression. And so we move on. You want to change your reality? You want to make it the way you want to feel? You want to go out in the world feeling good instead of that fuck pig we saw earlier? Yeah. I felt bad talking about a fuck pig. Because, well, it could be our reality. Maybe that's what's getting in the way of things. Maybe if we were living in that fuck pig's reality, we could all just be living in a ditch somewhere in a cardboard box because nobody will send us money when we go on Facebook and say, now I know who my real friends are, you know, type of thing. But the thing is, the reason I feel okay with that is because I had a good reading this week. What have I got? Yeah. Oh, come on, baby.
Yeah.
All right, and it linked up. We watch Radiant
Reality.
Radiant Reality. And I don't know if I've subscribed to them or not.
Oh, I have.
And that's where I get all my stuff, but I do. You know, sometimes it's like voting. If you don't think they're gonna need your help, why bother? The guy seems to be doing all right. And then, so I watched her, and she watched Sagittarius. It's a big deal this week, right?
Yeah,
come on.
Mine was. I'm Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Moon, and Sagittarius, Scorpio Rising is what I am.
And I've got Scorpio in there somewhere too. And
I think you have Cancer too, I think.
Not my diagnosis. I don't trust the doctors. It's just like in the movie they made out of World War Z, where the fucking crazy people in the virus stayed away from the sick people because they knew they weren't a good host. They'd see a sick person and they're going, ah, and they're like, ah, and they'd run around them and go attack someone else. I actually frothed them out. I was method acting. There is a method to my madness. So, yeah. So she shared with me what she saw of my Sagittarius, and I watched it, and it says that there's all kinds of stuff. That's why I had to talk about the fuck pigs. She wasn't a part of it. She hasn't even seen the video, so she cannot be held accountable. Guilty by association? No, I'm just guilty for fucking them. Oh, the terrible things people say. Not saying I am guilty, I feel guilty. That's what she says. I'm sure of it. Oh, I know. It's love, baby. It's what it takes. So yeah, and mine talked about her profession along in there. It was saying, and I'm like, that doesn't sound like me at all. And then it says, no, there's somebody in your life. If it's not you, he couldn't hear me. He was all over it. It was like a conversation. That's how you can lose your mind, is starting to believe that people fucking listen to you. Ooh, that's trouble. You have to keep repeating yourself. You feel like you're on a loop. They're not listening at all. And it did say something about trouble with the institution in my life. See, that's the interesting thing. It talked about I'm either like in medical or a cop or a lawyer, and it's like, this guy must be watching my show. I'm all of these things. And he says there's going to be, but then he says, so maybe I am going to have a run-in with the police, but it'll turn out to be one of these people that got the hell out of Gaylord and became a cop downstate, where they could get some action in their lives. Being the law. There's more action in being the law than there is on the outside of it, unless you're trying to get yourself in trouble. Yeah. And so I'm supposed to be involved with the institution this week somehow. And that's
you
why
can go for years without being arrested.
I can go years without being arrested. And the last time, yeah, we talked about it. Booked in the courtroom. What? They were surprised to even see me there. Yeah. When you're guilty, you go to court. Let them make something up to get you for it when you're innocent. You can say, you wasted my time to begin with. Time off for good behavior.
Oh, see, it went out, didn't it?
It went out. I get talking to her and I talk to you and I'm just like, but I talk to her and I'm just like, and she, oh my gosh. And I don't feel bad about this, but really you do, baby. You steal my fire.
Well, I do like the line that he said this past week. I can't remember if it was Scorpio. It might have been Scorpio. But he said Harley Quinn doesn't want the Joker to necessarily be a nicer person. She just wants him to be nicer to her.
That's true.
And it made me laugh because, the Joker is your thing.
And she was dressed as Harley Quinn when we went and broke the bank at the casino and watched people beating each other up down on the streets.
That was fun.
Last year. Yeah. Yeah, that may be something I was supposed to be paying attention to more than he realizes. You don't want me to be nicer to other people, just to you. And that's all that matters.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
If the two of us can be nice to each other, then the others can be assholes all they want. We got each other's backs.
Yeah.
Back to back against the neighborhood, the familia, el familia.
The institution.
El institution, federale, kumpasaya. And so there was this thing, there's supposed to be something huge going, and it's telling me, remain calm. And I'm like, I already thought that earlier today before I even saw the thing. Just don't let these things they're not your fault. Don't let these people that might be around you make you as upset as they are about this thing that means nothing to you. Don't feel like you got to be part of the gang and say, yeah, gah, because once you start acting upset, you are upset. If you're a good actor, method. And so we went through all this, and then I'm reading the old Farmer's Almanac on the toilet the other day. When does a farmer have time to read it other than on the toilet he's working, right? And it shows the sun signs and everything, and that morning, Monday morning, I read it, just zero phase. There was nothing. It was empty that day. And at 3:14 a.m., 3:14's my number, on the Tuesday, it went into Sagittarius. And it lasts for like 3 to 4 hours. Yeah, that's when we wake up, isn't it? 3 to 4 days of Sagittarius. And I was like, that's just weird. And here, the last 2 days, it started yesterday. She's asking me about traffic. It's a normal thing. And I'm just like, there's something about it. And I don't want to get too excited, but then coming home today and the different routes that I took, everything opens for me. Everything gets the fuck out of my way. The lights were green when I came through, and the lanes were open when I was coming up behind somebody that was slow. It was like whole lane open on 4 lanes of traffic. I'm just driving the speed limit and just going home. You know, and the idea that you don't want to hold anybody up, and you're coming up to your road to turn off to go home, and usually there are lines of traffic everywhere, and you block everybody behind you. It was just wide open, not even cutting in between something to let those people get home. Let my people go home. Because there's Pabst in the fridge. It's been an interesting thing. There might be some kind of power here, ma'am. And I enjoy it highly, and I thank you, Ralph, from Radiant Reality, for giving me some sort of belief. Siskafazunka. Everything is in order. I love you, baby.
I love you too.
Thank you. Remember, don't pray out. Pray in.
Be each other's strength card. We had strength card came up in the relationship.
Feats of strength.
And both of mine, it was relationship was a strength card, and you got the Ace of Cups, I believe.
Yes, and you had two aces? I had two aces. I had the 2 aces, which can be kind of funky at times, but in this case,
yeah,
everything's going my way. We're in the money. We're in the money. We got a lot of what it takes to get along. I feel like I see trees of green. Something else too.
Flowers of bloom.
Oh, and something else and something else. And
I see them bloom.
And I
for me
think to myself,
and I think to myself.
she's got cheeks like a squirrel.